The task is about negotiate project agreements. So in this task of the people domain, what we need to understand and what we need to remember is analyze the bounds of the negotiations for agreement. Before negotiating, you need to know that what you are going to negotiate. It's not like you will just make your own concept and then you will work accordingly. No, because we are working projects, we have to be working with shared understanding. Similarly, assess priorities and determine ultimate objectives. Without working in your life, your goal is useless. If you don't know your goal and whatever actions you are taking, it's not helping you at all. So you need to understand what is the reason of doing the project so you can deliver the right output and right value. Verify and discuss with the project stakeholders that all of you have shared understanding. I thought like this. This is the prioritization. What do you think it is correct? So we'll be doing predictive approach, hybrid approach, agile approach. We'll be going feature by feature. We think it should be done like this. This is the way of working. So there should be a shared understanding on these things before you move on. Because imagine you start working on agile way of working while stakeholders were not convinced for agile way of working or they were not prepared for this. So there will be a problem. You did some part and you started working without taking them in confidence. Ultimately, you will have a lot of changes, or you might have to stop the project, or maybe they can terminate your project because you are trying to influence the project by your behavior instead of you take stakeholder influence in a better way. Participate in negotiation, and you should have a negotiation strategy. It's not like you will be thinking of the negotiation strategy while sitting in the meeting. No, you have to go prepared. You should have all the options. If you don't know, have consultancies from OPA, from expert judgment, from your other peer project managers to understand that what could be the possible options available. So when you are talking, you look like a project manager, not like a fool person who knows nothing and just flowing in the flow of meeting. And whatever these people are saying, you are just nodding your head, yes, sir, yes, sir. If you will keep doing yes, sir, all the time, at the end you will be in trouble, not those people. So we need to negotiate project agreements. We cannot make everyone happy, but we have to use our skills to keep them engaged in our project. So let's go and solve the questions. The question is about negotiations, that how the negotiations should be done, what limits we have, and how can we overcome this. So a vendor proposes a change to the delivery schedule that would delay a regulatory milestone by 3 weeks. So we have urgency and we have a situation. The vendor offers a discount in return. Your sponsor is cost sensitive, but compliance deadlines are strict. So you have financial constraint as well as you have compliance constraint. What should you do as a project manager first? You can do many things, but what will be your first thing? Clarify negotiations, constraints, and non negotiable regulatory date acceptance criteria, contractual obligations. Accept the discount and update the schedule baseline. We know that it is only done with the help of change control. So, this is out of the league. Yes, these will never be the appropriate answers. And escalate to legal immediately. First, you need to discuss the thing before escalating. You have to analyze the thing, you have to negotiate the thing. And as our task is about negotiating, so yes, we have to negotiate first. So, yes, correct answer is A. Very good. I am very glad literally that the way you guys are doing, that's amazing. Means you are showing that efforts I am putting in, and you guys are also coming on the learning curve, which is good. Very good. Next, two business units disagree on project scope. One wants advanced feature now. The other wants a minimal release quickly to start benefits realization. And I cannot work on one side. I have to negotiate before moving on. So, what is the best way to determine priorities? Let the highest ranking stakeholder decide. Use the business case and benefits management plan to align priorities to value delivery. Split the scope equally between both units or delay the decision until later in the project. So we always need to select an answer which provides good resolution or the resolution which is acceptable to many things. And it should come with the data, with the fractions, with the numbers. So numbers are defined in benefits management plan. So business case is the reason why this project was selected. What is the economic feasibility? And benefits management plan will provide the guidance on measurements of benefits, the matrix you have included, the KPIs, the OKRs you have set for the project to be met. Very good. Next, a key internal resource is shared across three projects. The functional manager can only allocate 50% of the person's time, while your project needs 80% during a critical phase. Which negotiation strategy is most appropriate? Collaborate to explore alternatives such as time boxing, phase allocation, or temporary backfill. Force the allocation using the charter. Smooth the issue by accepting 50% and hoping it works out. Hopes, we don't run the project on hopes. Avoid the conflict by delaying the work. We do not ignore, we don't avoid, we don't force. We collaborate. That's what I like it, that your mindset is getting better. Amazing. Very good. Next, your team negotiated an agreement with a vendor to deliver a module by a specific date. Vendor delivers on time, but the module fails integration and does not meet performance threshold. What it comes in my mind? That the acceptance criteria was not done. And if you guys remember, please wait, don't go for the answers. Listen and try to understand. There is an agile methodology or approach where we can overcome these type of things. Any one of you know that? You can put it in the chat window. You deliver something, but the test fails. How could I avoid by using that type of agile methodology? That is called as test driven development. Before making the requirements, based upon the requirement, we do not code. Instead, we make that test. So once we make the test and then we code against the test. So what happens when the test will get successful? It means my coding will stop. So I will not be working something which is I don't know. I will be working only what is known to that. No scope creep, no integration errors, no failures, saving the time and increasing the transparency. So test driven development could help me here. Now let's move to the next. Has the agreement objective been met? What do you think? Yes, because delivery date was met. Delivering the product is not the answer. Because if it is not fulfilling the purpose, there is no benefit of doing whatever you are doing. So it will never be the correct answer. Yes, because the vendor delivered something usable. What is something usable? We don't work for something. No, because acceptance criteria and performance requirement were not met. No, because PM did not approve the final. It's not about invoicing. We are not discussing invoicing here. So correct answer which is left, yes, all of you are correct. It's actually C. That we need to have a proper acceptance criteria. And how could I avoid it? If there is another question like this, so you know that we have a behavior driven or test driven development method where we code for where we develop the test first and then we build a code against that. Perfect. Next, you are negotiating with a supplier for expedited components. Expedited means you want to reduce the lead time. The supplier refuses unless you agree to a long-term contract extensions. You want something, they want something. So again, we need to have a proper negotiation strategy. Schedule is threatened, but another supplier can meet your needs at a slightly higher cost. What should you do? It's not about cost, it's about contractual agreements. So always remember that before you make decisions, what you have to do? You have to analyze, evaluate, understand the situation. So we do not agree. We don't do that, right? So look, I didn't even read the full option because I know that these can never be the answers. So yes, correct answer is identify your best alternative options and use it as a leverage to negotiate. Very good. Next, your sponsor instructs you to negotiate scope changes directly with a client. but the contract requires all scope changes to go through the procurement legal process. What should the PM do? Proceed, refuse, engage, ask. You can even answer from the first word. That's very true. Instead of taking direct action, collaborate, right? Understand. So this is one of the answer. Very good. Next, your client wants early delivery. You can meet the date only by reducing testing depth, increasing cost for additional QA resources, or reducing scope. Reducing testing depth, increasing cost, or reducing scope. Can you do it as a project manager? We can not. It has to be done with the help of change control, or even after a sponsor approval, there should be a proper change request, approved change request. What should guide your negotiation outcome? The option that keeps the schedule no matter what, is never an appropriate answer until unless it's a compliance thing. The option that best aligns with the project objectives, constraints, and risk tolerance seems to be the better answer. Let's go next. The option that minimizes your effort, the option that satisfies the loudest stakeholder. We are not working to satisfy the loudest or richest or influential stakeholders. Instead, we are working to collaborate with them. So, yes, we will go with the best option, which is aligned with the objectives. Very good. Two departments must share a limited budget for training and tooling. Both have valid needs. Neither option fully satisfies both sides, but a decision must be made quickly. What negotiation approach is most appropriate? Collaborate until a win win solution is found, regardless of time. Compromise by allocating funds proportionally and revisiting later. Avoid the issue until the next phase. Force the decision based upon exact preference. So we know that these are out of the league. Two departments must share a limited budget for training and tooling. Both have valid needs. Neither option fully satisfies both, which means collaborate is not working. Collaborate did not work. So what we have to do? We have to ask both sides to going back from their positions. So look, if I remove this word, then yes, collaborate could be a better answer. But you have already used it. So it cannot be the answer. That's why I'm explaining. Because our first preferences were collaborate. You guys were correct in choosing, but you didn't read it carefully that we have already done it. When you've already done it, so we need to move to the next one. That's why compromise is better answer. That's the explanation. Next, you negotiated an internal agreement that the operation team will provide 24 by 7 support after release. After going live, response times are inconsistent and incidents are not resolved with SLAs, with agreed SLAs. What should the PM do? You did something, it didn't work. What you have to do? Assume the agreement is met. Why I have to assume when I already have the data? Verify agreement performance against defined SLA and initiate corrective actions. Escalate immediately to terminate the agreements. Ask the team to handle support permanently. These words will never bring the answers or will never bring the correct answers or the correct questions. So, yes, B is better answer. Very good. Next, you are negotiating a major change request with a customer that increase scope and cost. The customer asks you to approve the agreement immediately to keep momentum. It doesn't matter. I don't care. You are sponsor, you are boss. Whatever happens, remember in exam, we have to follow the process. It's not about boss is saying, sponsor is saying, customer is saying. Anyone can say anything. Any stakeholder can produce a change request, but it has to go through the process. What is the process? It has to go through the change control. So approve the change to maintain relationship. Why? This is what I was trying to explain you. Declined, I cannot decline, right? I am no one to decide. Change control board is deciding the things. I can just propose. Document the terms and route it through the formal approval process with the authorized decision makers. Delay and avoid responding until the customer forgets. This never be the better answer, right? So yes, all of you are correct. We have C as the correct answer.